All right. Welcome to the SRX broadcasted split. We're here for week number 4 out of 12 here at Southern National, waiting for the event to go up. And we will have a feed of the race going up in just a second, just waiting for it to open up to me. Looks like this is gonna be the first time in broadcasted split that we're gonna have only a single split. So no multiple splits. This is probably because of people getting ready to do the roar, just tired out from the roar. But still, it is um quite the interesting tidbit that up to this point we have had multiple split races, and now there's only one split that we have to broadcast. So that cuts down on it. The SOF for this event is going to be 1907, and we have 9 cars registered for this event. Loading into the session right now. We do have a very special guest who decided to register for this. You will see him in just a second when it loads. Let me open up ATVO real quick. We have Nick Nebben in the race. He decided to participate at just the right time for the broadcasted event. So let me get the ticker up on the board. And currently, your leader in practice is Barrett G. Canning, but Nick Nebben not too far behind. But we will go through your lineup once qualifying is concluded. Still got about 30 seconds until then. Let's go to someone on the track right now. Barrett G. Canning finishing up practice and coming into pit lane as practice for this race winds to a close. So with
I
that
think that's a win for me. I'm
out
done.
of the way, we can move on to qualifying. And let's see. Zach Hummel out on track right now. Car number 3 in the Clint Boyer's SRX scheme. Looks like he's getting his tires warmed up for this qualifying lap. Running a little bit up high on his first lap to get those tires warmed up. Looks like he's going to try his best to get a good run to his flying lap. Car number 3 going at it. Getting nice and low in a oh, he had to let off a lot on exit. I was just about to say that he had a good corner, but then he got on the gas a little bit early, got the car all tied up, and then he clips the apron. So Zach Hummel less than optimal lap. As we look at Barrett G. Canning, done a couple races this week at Southern National in the SRX car, and he is starting his first lap right now. So coming into turn 3, the man with the most experience at this combo in the field right now, setting up a very good qualifying lap, a 14.863 for Barrett Canning. It is going to be tough to beat that, and as he completes his flying lap, let's see if he goes any faster. A 14.782 for Barrett Canning. Nick Nebben doing his first laps as he gets the car's tires up to temp in that Victory Fuel SRX car. Now turn 4, first lap is going to be a 14.798. Can he set a better lap on his second lap where the tires are more warm and you have more grip? Run a little bit high up, but he gets a good exit. Looks like he did not get the lap that he was looking for. A 16.1 on his second lap as he coasts across the finish line. So Nick Nebben will be starting second, it seems, separated by 16/100ths of a second. So looks like between Nick Nebben and Barrett Canning, we are going to have a very close race in our hands. But don't count out James R. Batzer in the number 5. See what time he sets. He's actually starting his first lap right now, and we still got about 2 minutes left in qualifying. Got a little bit of a slow exit at 15.091 for James Batcher, currently in 4th. Can he set a faster lap on lap number 2? Looks like he's not happy with his lap, noses it into the wall, and he pulls the car off the track. So James R. Batzer's time good for 4th, and as qualifying concludes, we can get to your starting lineup in just 1 second. So, starting on pole is the number 2 car of Barrett G. Canning, and on his outside is the number 1 of Nick Nebben. Inside of row number 2 is going to be the 9 of Braden Wares, and on his outside is going to be the number 5 of James R. Batzer. Inside of row number 3 is going to be the number 4 of Wesley Dunphy, rounding out your top 5. And then first car outside of the top 5 is the number 6 of Bill Sleep. Inside of row number 4 in the number 7 car, starting in 7th, is Michael Kaka in the number 7. I hope I said that right. I hope maybe it's Kaka? I think it's Coca. I'm just going to say Coca. Starting on his outside is the number 3 of Zach Hummel. And starting in 9th and rounding out your field, the number 8 of William Cummins. Starting at the tail end of the field. 1 lap to green here at Southern National Speedway. It's going to be Barrett G. Canning leading the field to the green flag, with a seemingly very equally paced Nick Nebben right on his outside. It is very tough to pass here at Southern National. You definitely have to work over your opponent, but pace car is pulling into pit lane, and green flag is out. Barrett Canning gets a good start. Nick Nebben right on his outside. Nebben running a lane up, as it looks like Ware's got a little bit sideways on the exit of the corner. So that allows Nick Nebben to go into the back end. Big wreck in the back, as that is Wesley Dunphy and Braden Wares collected in an accident. No cautions in the SRX series, so bad luck for Wares and Dunphy, but it is smooth sailing right now for Barrett Canning and Nick Nebben. James Batzer fastest lap of the race thus far, 14.993. He's in third place right now, being the main beneficiary of that big kerfuffle on lap number 1. And Nick Nebben right now, fastest car on track, 14.953 to Barrett Canning's 15.029. We have 60 laps here at Southern National. Lots of time for this race to unfold. You see, that's Wesley Dunphy on the inside, coming out of pit lane 2 laps down, looking maybe for some extra safety ratings. I believe that was Will. I don't know exactly who that was hitting the wall pretty hard. It was Michael Koka in the Marlboro number 7, getting a good lick of the wall as Koka is battling with the 6 of Bill Sleep. That's the closest battle on track right now, as Dunphy is on less used tires. But pretty evenly spread out right now. Barrett Canning is now the fastest car on track, setting 4 fast laps in a row. 14.841 his fastest lap, and he's coming up on lap traffic. That is William Cummins in the 8 car, running off pace all the way on the bottom, being a very gracious lap car, even if he's in the preferred lane, being predictable with his line and not causing any trouble. And Bill Sleep just set the fastest lap of the race, a 14.837 back in 5th. As, contact between Cummins and Sleep. As, I don't know what happened. I looked away for a split second, and there was contact between the 6 and the 8. But that will cause Cummins to tow into pit lane. Hopefully not a lot of wheel damage on that 6 car. But back to the lead. The gap has grown to about a second between Barrett Canning and Nick Nebben. Zach Hummel very slowly approaching the back end of James R. Batzer, separated by about half a second, these two. And the gap between Barrett Canning and Nick Nebben is growing 1.2 seconds now between first and second place, between cars 2 and 1. In the back, closest battle for position right now is between the 7 of Michael Koka and the 6 of Bill Sleep for the 5th position. Sleep trying to regain the ground that he lost after contact with William Cummins. But it looks like that right front damage is hampering him quite a lot. But he gained a lot of ground on the 7 on entry, and he's running quite high up, allowing him to get good runs off the corner. Will he send it in on the 7? He's getting awfully close to that Marlboro SRX car of Michael Koka. So we'll see how this progresses. But for the lead right now, gap widening to 1.4 seconds between Nick Nebben and Barrett Canning. Canning just has to preserve his stuff if he wants to maintain this lead. As we saw Batzer scrape the wall a little bit on exit. Zach Hummel still hungrily chasing him down. Maybe with a little help from the lap car of Cummins, as Cummins might have prevented Batzer from tracking out all the way. Anyways, back in the back of the field, we have a battle for 6th ongoing between Bill Sleep and Braden Wares. Wares all over the back end of Sleep, as Sleep's running high, Wares running all the way on the bottom. Wares might be able to dive it into the corner here. Both cars with damage. Wares with that lap 1 accident, and Sleep with that accident with Michael Cummins side by side for the 6th position right now. And it looks like Wares is going to have it made on the bottom. Sleep crossover not coming anytime soon. So Wares looks to be pretty safe with the 6th position for at least the time being. As I believe William Cummins went around again, we saw a puff of smoke, and then I noticed that the 8 car was towed to the pit lane, and William Cummins will be the first driver to retire from today's event. He has left the session as Wares locks it up right behind Michael Koka, almost gets into the back of the 7. Luckily, no contact made between the two. As we are already approaching halfway, big slide on the rear end from Koka. Wares looking to pounce on it. Having to slow down way much, getting on the apron a little bit. Barrett Canning is going to have to navigate this. You see Wares locking it up on the inside. Oh, Michael Koka really slowing it down on the inside right in front of Barrett Canning. This is a golden opportunity for Nick Nebben to make up time to Barrett Canning, as he just went from 1.4 seconds back to 0.7 of a second back. Now down to 0.7 of a second. So if Nebben can get around Koka with ease, and it looks like he will be able to, as Koka gives him the inside line. That gap for Nebben essentially has been cut in half as we reach the halfway point. But as of right now, Barrett Canning is setting slightly faster lap times, about 0.5 faster than Nick Nebben. So Nick Nebben will have to make some adjustments maybe to how he's driving that car, or he'll need a stroke of good luck to catch Barrett Canning, as now Canning working on the number 9 of Braden Wares. Wares going all the way to the top, as a lap car should, to not get in the way. And looks like Wares is going to do it again for the 1 car of Nebben. But 0.8 of a second now separating Nebben and Canning, as the laps are rapidly ticking away here. We're going to switch to laps to go. 29 laps to go here. And the question for Nick Nebben is, when does he push? Because he, of course, wants to save his stuff, but he also wants to win at the same time. And these laps are quickly going away. As I posed that question, 2 laps have already passed. Both drivers setting 15.2 second lap times. Nick Nebben just slightly faster. With 27 laps to go, and these laps are so short, slightly faster is not enough. .26 laps to go. James Batzer in third, comfortably in third, 1.6 seconds ahead of Zach Hummel. As it looks like really the closest battle on track right now is for the lead between Nebben and Canning. And I think Nebben's going to need either divine intervention from lap cars again, or Canning to really start sliding that rear end around and losing a lot of speed to be able to catch him. The gap has now grown to 1 second between first and second place. And further in the back, Michael Koka is starting to catch the 9 of Braden Wares. And maybe I spoke too soon when I said that Braden Wares had 5th lockdown, as Michael Koka, making up a lot of ground. Gap has gone from about a second deficit to 0.7 in about 4 laps time. So Braden Wares struggling a little bit, maybe with his tires. And Michael Koka just slowly gaining more and more time as he goes up high to let Zachary Hummel by. Hummel able to get around Koka with little issues, as Koka really sends it in. I thought he was going to clear out. Hummel for a second. And now the battle for 5th has simmered down a little bit. About a second separating these two, as Zach Hummel has a little bit of internet issues in front. But Nick Nebben back to square one once again, as he is 1.4 seconds behind the leader of Barrett Canning. But now the lead for 5th place is heating up. Michael Koka battling hard with Braden Wares for the 5th place. Koka gets into Wares just a little bit. I don't know if Wares is going to be too happy about that, but he might not have too much of a say. He's going to try to stay on Koka's tail. What will Wares do right behind Michael Koka? Wares peeking to the inside of the 7 car. He has the inside. And he's going to make the move stick on the 7 car. So put Braden Wares back into 5th place. Both these cars are 1 lap down, but they're fighting like it's the last lap. And now Koka all over the back end of Wares. Wares sticks it to the inside, or sorry, Koka sticks it to the inside. Contact between Wares and Koka. They keep it straight somehow. And Wares comes out looking pretty rosy, as he's able to keep it straight and ahead of the 7 car. So while we wait for this battle to develop once again, the hunt for the lead with 12 laps to go is as follows. Nick Nebben about 9/10 of a second back from Barrett Canning with 11 laps to go. He's going to need something to happen to Barrett Canning, a big slide, a spin, something, if he wants to take a victory in the SRX broadcasted split at Southern National. Looks like Nebben really deciding to push the car pretty hard, getting real close to that wall and really diving it into the corners. Issue is that he's only running slightly faster than Canning at the moment. About half a tenth faster for Nick Nebben. And at this rate, it's not going to be enough with 8 laps to go. Maybe Nick Nebben can get lucky with lap traffic as Barrett Canning approaches Michael Koka, and I believe that is Wesley Dunphy, the 4 car, who was involved in that lap 1 accident. So the question for Canning is, does he scale it back and avoid a potential incident with lap cars and risk Nick Nebben catching up to him, or does he try to force his way around lap cars and potentially get himself involved in a mess if a lap car makes an unpredictable move? It's right on the back end of Koka, and Koka running high up on exit to let that 2 car by. So Koka being a gracious lap car to the leader. Will Wesley Dunphy impact this at all as Canning quickly approaches that 4 car? Nick Nebben 1.1 seconds back from our leader, Barrett Canning, who has led every single lap of the race thus far. Looks like Canning's taking it easy around Wesley Dunphy, only taking the opportunity if it presents himself to the inside of Dunphy. Goes Canning. 2 laps to go here at Southern National Motorsports Park. And it looks like Nick Nebben not going to be able to close the gap on Barrett Canning. White flag in the air. Final lap for Barrett Canning to bring it home. All he needs is 1 clean lap where he keeps the car straight, and he will be home free. Barrett Canning wins at Southern National Motorsports Park in the SRX broadcasted split for week number 4. Good win to Barrett Canning. And while cars are doing their cool down lap, let's get our finishing results on the board. Barrett Canning comes home victorious with Nick Nebben in second. James R. Batzer takes advantage of an early wreck and comes home third. Zach Hummel, improving from his previous results, finishing a solid fourth place. And Braden Wares, after a huge battle with Michael Coca, eventually comes home the last car in the top 5. Then it is Michael Coca coming home in 6th. Bill Sleep, it looked like he had speed but suffered an accident with a lapped car. Very unfortunate for the driver of the 6. He comes home in 7th position. Wesley Dunphy, involved in an early accident, comes home 8th. And William Cummins, the only car to retire from tonight's event, in 9th. Well, with that out of the way, I hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. Might not have been as exhilarating as some previous broadcasts like Mexico City or USA, but it was certainly fun to watch here, or certainly fun to broadcast. Big thanks to the people at SKS Graphics. Big thanks to you for watching, and I will see you next week when SRX goes to, where do they go to? We can see on the schedule. We're gonna be going road racing to Circuit Navarra, the medium speed circuit next week. So that will be something to watch. My name is Garrett Hess. I hope you enjoyed the stream, and I will see you next week.